Right, here we go. Looks like we're live, so let's have it. Maybe I should work on a better intro to my videos. Am I in the middle? I don't know, we'll work it out. But thank you for tuning in again, or even if this is just your first time here, like that is ace. Welcome to another episode of me playing Minecraft. Maybe I should again make a proper name for it. It's not that big, it's really not that big. Really, this is all just for me, so does it need a name? I don't know. I'm deep in it, and we're 30 seconds in, so I need to stop talking rubbish and get the episode started. But yeah, thank you for tuning in to another episode. Can't even remember what my last episode was on. Maybe I should have looked before I started recording. Oh, I know I unveiled my new village. I think that's what I did in the last episode. So I'm going to kick off this episode in the new village, as you can see. I start by upgrading the square. Let me get it rolling. It's a 40-minute recording, so there's plenty of content, and I don't actually finish the thing at the end of this video. Let me start it rolling. I don't actually finish the thing at the end of this video, but I'm not going to spoil what it is yet. We'll get to it when it gets going, because I know that the thing I do end up making, and maybe I'm going to put it in the title of the video, so I bet I will. So I'll probably spoil the surprise already. I'm not very organised with this. But that's the thing about just doing it like candid, if that's the word. Like, yeah, just maybe I should come up with a bit of a plan beforehand. We'll see. Anyway, I decided, because I discovered this village, I'm really excited to get working on this village. I was thinking, yeah, I want to tidy up that square, because it is like the middle of the village. It's going to be, again, where everyone congregates. It's going to be what would be one of the busier places. So yeah, I need it upgrading. So again, like in terms of the mud paths, not ideal. I have actually gone, as you can see, for stone bricks in this village. I'm thinking this village is going to be a bit more like, because I've got the space to build things, I suppose. If you think about in the way that like towns have developed and stuff, because there's the space there and it's easier to build there, I think the bigger buildings might appear in this area, because that's how the terrain is, but we'll see. So I spend the first part of the video just clearing some of the trees that I think are in the way, and then I put these stone brick paths down, but eventually I sort of think, okay, what should I do next in this area? And I'm not really sure, but then I think, okay, what I'm going to do is connect this village to another village, and that's what I do. And it does end up being quite exciting, I think. I've literally just finished recording it downstairs, and I've come up to do the audio, which I still think is the right way to be doing things, even though it takes twice as long, because I know you probably can just record like as you're doing it, but I think I'd rather instead of me saying everything that comes into my mind, because that's just not a good idea, is it? Even though that's probably what it looks like I'm doing anyway, because that is what I'm doing a lot of the time. But like for example, if I'm saying, oh, I think I might do this here, might do that there, it's just, I don't know. If you want me to vocalise everything I'm doing, please feel free to let me know, because otherwise I'm just going to do this where I record everything, because I think that's the better way to do it. And I must have said that in like every video. I need to stop doing it, because that would annoy me. I'd be sat there behind the YouTube video going, oh, as if he's saying that again. So I need to stop being that cringy person. But anyway, so yeah, I've officially upgraded around that well sort of thing to stone bricks, and I'm going for like a cobblestone edging around it. I'm probably going to put some sort of rain on there. I'm not decided what yet though. So yeah, just sort of upgrade that square a bit, and then I guess you've probably seen from the title of the video, even though I've not decided what it's going to be. I don't know. I could either do like upgrading the new village square, well, that's not really what the main thing of the video is, or I could put connecting my new village to my old village, which is, if you didn't know, is what you're going to see. Because after I end up taking that all the way down there too. After I end up squaring up this village a bit, I do end up making sort of like a minecart track. Not that I actually put the tracks on it, just sort of put the cobblestone for where it's going to go. Just another point on that as well, and it'll make sense when we get to that part of the video. But I will put some supports, because the sort of structure that I'm building to run the minecart rails along, as I usually do, is just floating in the air. I've just done it so it's flat, because I always think, and it's not true, like there are some trains that do climb hills and things, but trains are usually sort of, when I say trains, I know it's going to be minecart, but can we imagine it's a train? Because that's sort of the thing that I'm thinking. But yeah, when you imagine train tracks, like they're pretty much all level, I guess, because it makes sense in terms of using energy. Like I don't know. Maybe they should build them so that like it does go downhill in one direction, downhill in the other. But I bet that'd just be a massive like engineering project. I'm sure they've got. I hate when there's those noises in Minecraft. Like, what's the point? Sometimes it creeps me out a bit. I guess that's what it's supposed to do. Yeah, I guess that'd be a massive engineering project if they were to make it sort of so it was like, oh, I've pressed pause. Hey, I'm an idiot. That's me trying to check that I'm in the camera frame and I'm pressing pause on the video. Yeah, massive engineering project. If anyone has been to Scunthorpe, we've obviously got the viaduct there, and I find it so fascinating. Just that when they put that train line in, that they didn't keep it at like ground level. It's raised really high in the air. That must have been a massive project. And I did find from old photos that it did used to be sort of like a massive bridge in the air. And as time's gone on, they've put loads of like dirt and soil and stuff underneath it, I guess for support. But wow, it looked crazy before. It was so beautiful. Massive viaduct. But now it's kind of, yeah, you can see bits of it. If you go along Scotter Road, that's the main bit where the traffic goes under. And that road's just mental now. Like, if you don't know where it is, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But I feel like as I've grown older, I've seen Scunthorpe get busier, and I don't live there anymore. But whenever I go now, it's just practically traffic everywhere, and that is just like how the world's going in general. Grimsby is an absolute nightmare for traffic, absolute nightmare. And there's loads of little things I would do to like make the traffic better, but I'm not going to go into that. I could do a whole video on it if you wanted me to. I'm going to try and just narrate what is going on in the videos, but I'm also aware, this is me looking here, look as to where I'm going to put the track, that there are going to be quite long parts in the video where there's just me building, and I might have to come up with a little story or something, but you know me, I never really run out of things to say. So yeah, I'm just sort of scoping out the area and deciding where exactly to put this track. And I decided, I was thinking, do I have it right near the river, or do I have it coming like right into the town? I thought, no, right into the town, and then I can sort of build around it. So that's what I ended up doing, but here you can just see me deciding where to go. I noticed there was like a little bit of a natural tree line there, so I sort of went around the natural tree line. It looks like that's where I've gone for. Look at it, I just stopped 1 block away because I don't really like where things touch other things if I can help it. I'm very OCD about little things like that. Now, on a bit of a tangent, while I'm building this cobblestone thing, like I do genuinely think I've got OCD, just not like obsessive OCD, just like mild OCD. Now you're gonna think, oh, what an idiot, but yeah, it just annoys me when things aren't perfect. But I don't know. So anyway, as you can see, like this cobblestone structure where I'm gonna run the minecart rails along, which I've not even added in yet, but it's purely fictional, purely imaginational. Very cringe for a 25-year-old, but who cares? I'm not really bothered. As you can see, it's like really high in the air, and I thought, oh gosh, so should I move it down so that it's more like at ground level? And in the end, I do leave it up in the air. I think that was the right thing to do. Please feel free to tell me if you want it changing, because I am completely open to suggestions and just doing whatever anyone else wants to see. Because obviously I am making it sort of for other people. As much as I say it's for me, like, if I'm putting it out there, it's for other people to watch too. I'm not sure why I stopped there. I'm guessing I might have got a notification on my phone or something. This is a problem that I run across quite frequently. I end up coming across like trees and stuff and having to sort of go through the trees. Now, I don't know whether to just take those trees down or like carve through them a little bit. So yeah, we'll see what we end up with. But as I mentioned in the previous video, I've sort of taken the minecart rail roughly where I said I would take it. I don't think I'm going to add like an actual pathway in, unless both villages end up expanding ridiculously, because it's just such a long way to walk. Like, you wouldn't walk all that way, would you? Now, if you look, I'm actually coming over here to see where the castle is, because a massive decision that I made while I was making this, and it is just like doing it as I'm going along, is to decide that I thought, okay, maybe the castle could be like in charge of the railway, and it just set off loads of ideas in me. I thought, oh my god, that's great. So like the castle is gonna, I think, be like a stronghold for what we were calling Foxby, the original village. And then hopefully we can imagine that the castle and the king or the queen are just going to have complete control over like what the trade is that comes in and out of the village, which is crazy. But obviously that would have happened in like older days, and that is sort of what I'm trying to imagine, this settlement coming up from nothing, and then eventually, I don't know if we'll ever see it turn into a city, because that would be a massive project. But if I'm trying to make an episode for each day, then we'll see. Now, this is obviously one of the long episodes. If it is going to be, I guess it'll be about 35 minutes long. And I know I've done the odd episode. I think. Oh, shall I have a look? I've got my phone next to me. What did that say? Oh, £50 less for a listing. I can't talk. £50 less for a listing that you've saved, and it's a pool table. Because if anyone knows me, I suppose I've not told many people, but I really want a pool table. I think it's something that I'll be saving up for, but I'm desperately trying to save up for a new car. Anyway, going on tangents. Looking at my channel. What was I going to look at my channel for? Oh my gosh. Well, oh yeah, for the length of the video. So the last episode, which I think was episode 4, it's episode 5. Episode 5 was the last one. The video was only like just under 14 minutes long, and it has got actually one more view than the one before. I'll just have to see like what happens, but obviously if you guys prefer shorter videos, then I'll do shorter videos, and it does sort of depend on what I'm building and if I think you'll find the build process interesting. So just here in the video you can see I've sort of come out to roughly next to where the castle is, and in the end I do sort of start thinking, could I make it one big sort of stronghold where the train line, if you like, minecart rail, whatever, goes directly into this stronghold, and it's completely managed by the castle and whoever's running the castle. But it did just get me loads of ideas thinking about, like the castle can charge fares and then use that money to improve the village. Yeah, it's just giving me loads of avenues of not necessarily ideas I can do for content as much as that is going to be what it is, but just ideas as to how these villages are going to work together. And I just thought, yeah, the castle is going to have complete control over trade and choose what comes in and what comes out. Now, another random little story to go with my little storyline, if you like, was obviously I've made all of this out of cobble, and I'm doing it in creative. I've not collected any of the resources, and something I'm going off on another tangent, but I've touched on. I did think maybe I don't know if I've mentioned it to you guys or not, but just maybe like one day a week or something, just putting my world into survival and seeing how I manage with it actually in survival. If that's something you think I should do, please feel free to let me know. Otherwise I might keep it creative because, I like creative, but every so often you've just got to switch it up, haven't you? Keep it interesting. Look, I'm running across another tree now. Now, I suppose I don't know if I've actually said, maybe I have, but I tend to just love the natural landscapes in Minecraft, and there's some trees that I just don't want to get rid of. I've mentioned before, I love those really big spruce trees. I just think, I don't know, they remind me of, I've been playing Minecraft like this since before they were a thing, and if you come across a jungle biome, which used to be more common, they're still a thing, but they're quite rare. I think, anyway. I don't know my stuff properly. Just fully wing it. You might be thinking that's a jungle biome there if you don't know your stuff. That's not jungle. That's like dark oak. It's probably got another different proper name. And there's a what kind of tree is that? I can't say spruce. It's not spruce. It's birch. It's like a birch biome there too. What was the point of me saying that for? Oh yeah, I was saying about jungle biomes, how they spawn quite rarely. Yeah, so I think when I first discovered jungle biomes and they first got added to, I think they've been in the PC version for ages, and I just don't know my stuff. Maybe I need to stop talking about the games. I just don't know what I'm talking about. But I do know that from watching other people's Minecraft videos that jungle biomes were a thing a long time ago in the PC version, but when they came over to the Xbox version, I was buzzing, and you got these massive trees with the vines coming down. I thought that was ace, and then they've started putting them in spruce biomes too, and I just think it's nice to look at. It just adds so much character. So you can see now I've completed the cobblestone structure for where the minecart rail is going to go, and I have done both directions because I do think that's sensible. Obviously, I'm probably never going to run it properly. You used to be able to put a minecart with a furnace behind a minecart, put some coal in, and it would just go until it ran out of coal. And I loved that. And I'm sure they've done something so that doesn't work anymore. Now I could be just talking complete rubbish, but I'm sure that used to be a thing and it's not a thing anymore. And that was how you could make it power itself. I don't know if that's still a thing. I maybe need to try it out, but I think they stopped making it a thing, and I don't know why. Because that was ace. You just imagine, in terms of playing a bit more realistic, you had to find the resources to power it and stuff, and then I could put my game into survival every so often. And imagine that I've got to keep the the minecart system going. But just that aside as well, like thinking about this, the fact that I've got possibly like a passenger transport system, somebody's going to have to man that, like a ticket collector. We can imagine like how much we're going to make from the fares and then decide what we're going to do with that money. It just creates so much more for a storyline. So I'm kind of glad that I found another village like right next to the village that I'd initially sort of started out in. Let me just see how far through we are. Not even halfway. That is mental. And I do know, basically for the rest of the video, just to tell you what's coming up. And maybe I shouldn't do this because maybe like people hear it and think, "Oh, I'm not listening to that," and turn it off. But I'll tell you, I'm quite an open book, as you've probably realised. The rest of the episode is me sort of working on this platform area, and then yeah, I end up making it look not identical to the castle. And I think that's sort of what I want to go for, but very similar. Obviously, I'm using stone bricks. I've decided to use spruce wood because obviously there's a lot of spruce trees around there. I'm just adding a little extension bit on there as to where I'm going to add the stairs on. You'll see how it works out. Because obviously this platform is like floating, 30 blocks of I can talk, I promise. 30 blocks above. What a tongue twister. It's probably not even a tongue twister, it's just I've got in my head what I want to say next. So I'm like speeding myself up or putting pressure on myself. Losing my train of thought again. Yeah, this platform's like roughly 30 blocks above where the actual land is, and it's a bit on a hill, which is not ideal. So yeah, I've got some stairs that sort of the passengers can get up and down to, and I put them on both sides so they can get to either platform without having to walk across it. I did think, well, I've mentioned about in terms of passengers, but also in terms of freight and trade. I did think, should I have like another little minecart track that goes off, so there's like a little bay where goods can be unloaded but still let passengers go past. I've probably thought into all of this, but I love these kind of little make-believe worlds and imagining this sort of thing. Because I don't know, I just find it really fascinating in real life, and I think it's cool that you can make your own little world and sort of play make-believe. I don't know. So here, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm trying to make it line up perfectly with the edge of the platform, and that's what I do, so I can kind of keep it within the confines of the building. And I think you'll see towards the end of the episode, and I'll show you what I was talking about if I remember. But I think that on top of this extra building, because I don't know whether to keep it separate to the castle or do I extend the castle walls and make it go round that platform too. I don't know. Feel free to let me know. But I do think on top of this building, at least maybe I should do some more towers like what are on the castle. Just to give it that character, but also I imagined if the castle people or whoever's going to run the constituency or whatever you want to call it, if they're going to be in charge of the movement of goods, people are obviously going to get jealous. Like they're going to want to move the goods or steal the goods. Like you're always going to have people that have maybe fallen down the ladder in life and are not in such a good place and potentially want to steal things. So like I'm thinking that if there's going to be the movement of goods, there needs to be like guards like watching over the goods. So like this is just going to create jobs for the population in terms of like I've said ticket collectors, but also guards to watch over the goods. It just gives me like so much to do as a storyline, and it has really got me excited again because I think I said before in the last video with the village that I have been working on, I really thought, you know, I was sort of losing interest in it, and this has just like re-sparked my interest. It's like, okay, we can have movement of goods and stuff. Now, something I meant to mention earlier in the video, and I don't think I quite got onto it. You've seen I've made the structure out of cobblestone and stone bricks for the actual building. Now, as I've said, I'm doing this in creative. I've just got infinite blocks, but if I was doing it in survival, I'd have to collect all of these resources. Now, I've mentioned before about this Foxby village. I think that's just what we're going to have to call it. You can tell I'm not bothered about the name. I'm more bothered about the actual buildings because I've not really thought about the name. There's another fox down there I just saw actually, appropriately. There just seem to be a lot of them, which I like, and I'm glad there's not many wolves because I don't like the foxes get attacked. That's horrible. But Mother Nature is horrible, isn't she? So, yeah, in terms of creative, I've got infinite blocks, and I've said before about this Foxby village being sort of fishing nature, which still makes sense, particularly because the other villagers not really got access to that river. It's probably going to be Foxby that's providing all the fish for that other village too. But I've mentioned before about what do you call it? like a mine shaft. What do you call it? Anyway, yeah, possibly like a mining town as well, because it's on a massive hill. But then I got thinking as well, like obviously Lincoln is on a hill, but as far as I'm aware, there is no sort of mine in Lincoln, which, yeah, I don't really know the backstory. So then I did, like, while I was playing, think, okay, well, just because there's a hill or a cliff or whatever, doesn't necessarily mean that there's resources there. Just been mentioned in someone's story. I'm tempted to have a little nosy on silent. I bet it's like a throwback to a night out or something. Oh yeah, it's about missing uni. I miss uni too. Now, the person that's tagged me in it as well. Oh my god, what a throwback. Oh, I've got so many good memories in my life. So many good memories. Oh, I miss those days so much. But even back when I was at uni, I used to play on my Xbox all the time, the same Xbox. I've had that Xbox for absolutely years, which is probably why it started messing up in terms of recording videos. I've still not got to the bottom of why it happened. I'm just so grateful that it started working again. Something I did do was delete everything off my memory stick, but like I said, I didn't say, but I'd only used about half the storage on my memory stick anyway, so I don't understand what the problem was. But yeah, I'm just so grateful it's working again, because I was so traumatized. I was like, what am I going to do? Have I got to buy another Xbox? Have I got to buy another memory stick? I did not know what was going on, and I bet it might happen again, but I don't know. If anyone knows their stuff, and I bet there's loads of people that watch these things and listen to me talk and just cringe at all the things I'm saying, but if anyone is like techie and knows their stuff, on my Xbox, basically, I think the problem, if anyone's done it, and I don't know if anyone knows, but there's the option to like record your gameplay, isn't there? That's what I've been doing. And it says like game recording started and stuff, so it starts recording. But then sometimes when I stopped, it wouldn't say game clip saved or whatever. I'm assuming it was some sort of storage issue from the videos I've watched and stuff. So I tried to look on YouTube at what was going wrong, but I don't know. I'm just so grateful it's working again, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to circle back now to what I said about mining. Obviously, Lincoln is on a massive hill, but I don't think anything was mined there. And I guess because there's not a lot of natural resources. But I'm assuming wherever you drill down, and again, people might be cringing because I don't know my stuff. But wherever you drill down, surely there's got to be stone there. Is it just different types of stone? Maybe useful stone, not so useful stone? I really don't know. But yeah, I thought, well, Lincoln is on a big hill and it's not got a mine. So then I thought, you know that in the other village, which needs a name still, in the other village, the newer one that I found, there was obviously some natural sort of shafts. So I thought maybe I could imagine that they have all of trade in terms of stone and building materials, and that's got to come from that village. So one is going to sort of aid the other. So yeah, they're just thinking points, but we're going to have to see where things go with the series and with these videos. This is my third episode that I've recorded today, and honestly, like, I absolutely love it. I feel like I could just record and record and record. Normally, I only want to do like one video, and I'm like, that's it, I've done my daily episode, that's it, I'll wait till the next day. But I don't know if it's because I've missed so many episodes that I'm like just wanting to make loads of videos. I think it's been sort of, it sounds so daft, but building up in me inside like throughout the week. And now because I've got the opportunity, I'm like, yeah, let's do it, let's make another one, and I'm sure I will get bored eventually. I'm aware that I need to get my planning sorted, and I have got like resources that I can tweak and use, but yeah, I always just want my lessons to be as good as they can be. And again, I could dive into teaching so much, which maybe I'll do, because to be fair, I've got at least another 15 minutes of this episode, so yeah, I obviously always want my lessons to be as good as they can be, but there are certain tolls like that planning takes on like mental health, because I always think about it, but in terms of having to plan lessons, if anyone is at uni or been to uni, it really does feel like assignments or homeworks. If you don't know, and it's maybe different for different courses, but assignments at uni are sort of like homeworks, but you get graded on them and they contribute towards your grade, whereas homeworks at school are just, yeah, I can't remember whether they count at college. I know I had homeworks to do at college, and a separate little rant, and I need to be careful, but at my school, like, and I think it's the same for a lot of schools, homework is not compulsory, I just find that so unfair. And looking back, like, yes, I hated doing homework, but like that was such a vital part of my education. I think if I'd have had the choice as to whether I had to do it or not, like obviously I wouldn't do it. And a lot of other teachers have said the same. That's not just me. Like we did it because we had to, but that has benefited us so much in terms of our education. So it really annoys me that homework's not compulsory. And I know that there are schools, for example, like my brother's school, where it is compulsory. And I'm like, oh my gosh, should I just go to a school where it is compulsory? That's one of the things about my school that I don't like. And it's not a big thing, is it? But it's a bit rubbish when, no one, I don't know. I don't want to delve into it too much, but in terms of being accountable for students' progress, like obviously the school are sort of on our backs a little bit about like whether we're making kids achieve the grades that they should be, which is absolutely how it should be. But then I hate that like there's no factor of homework in there. I mean, we might get asked like, "Are you pushing homework?" And it's like, "Yeah," but then they realise that there's nothing we can do about it, and it's like, "Well, you're trying. What more can you do apart from try?" It's like, "Well, we need consequences." I don't want to stir the pot too much, and maybe I should just shut my mouth so I don't get in any sort of trouble. But a bit back, like my school had a policy where you had to do homework or you got detentions, and it caused uproar, and like loads of kids were in detention for not doing their homework. But then they were actually getting the homework done. Like so many kids just did it because they had to. Yeah, that's the sort of ethos that I want. And I'd love to be able to chat to the principal, and maybe I'll get the opportunity to with my thoughts. But yeah, I just need to be careful with what I'm saying. I did actually get a message not long ago from someone else that I think has recently started teaching, and they said like, oh, if you checked with SLT, like senior leadership team, that is like academy leadership team, whether it's okay to make these videos. And I did say, oh, I've actually been able to speak to the principal. I'll do dive into that in my vlog channel. Like there's a whole video in it, and if you want the link, like just let me know or message me or whatever. I'm not going to share links and stuff publicly, I don't think. But basically, I sort of got the all clear. Yeah, but gosh, I just want to be careful, and I've said to the principal that obviously my job is my priority, and I think she really understood that. But she said I was fine to keep doing this, which is great because I hope you guys know how much I love it, and even if you don't know, like, I know how much I love it, and that's what really matters. So just going back to what's in the video, then I don't know why I did down there. I thought, oh, it can be like Anchorage, but I'm not doing that. No, I'm very much, I don't know if you've noticed, but care about what you can see. I don't care about what you can't see. So if there's like a massive hill behind something, as long as you can't see it, I'm not really bothered. And yeah, there might be the odd thing that I've missed. So if you think I have, like, please let me know, give me a timestamp for when it is. There's the odd time I do go back and watch my own videos, which, I don't know, maybe sounds a bit sad, but like I've said, I am sort of doing it for me. And I like to look back and think, oh, was that good content? Was that not good content? And the same with teaching, like reflection is such a critical part of it, to think what was good, what was bad. And I still think I'll get a lot of those opportunities. I mean, I can't imagine a lesson that goes by where I don't think about what I could do better. And I don't know if every teacher's the same, so like, if you're from teaching background, please let me know, because yeah, it's just interesting, isn't it, to know different teachers and their practices and what works and what doesn't work. And obviously what works for some people doesn't work for other people. But I am very critical, and I'd like to say reflective. Like I like to think about how well things went and whether I could do it better. And even the lessons that do go really, really well, I don't know, it's not every lesson. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but even the lessons that do go really good, there's rarely a lesson that goes by where I think, okay, how could I still make it better? Because even for those really good lessons, it'll be like, oh, but I could have done this, could have done that. I have actually got the opportunity this year, and again, I hope I'm not dropping myself in it, to teach a top set this year again, which I didn't do last year. I don't mind. I actually got a really good middle ground group that was basically like a top set, and I absolutely loved teaching them. I think I'm really going to miss teaching them. But so far from what I've seen, I've got some incredible groups this year, absolutely incredible groups, especially compared to like some of the groups that I've had. And I'm not delving into it because I really do want to protect myself. I probably shouldn't be mentioning it at all. But I don't see the harm in, I don't know, saying like, I don't know, just giving an overall picture of my groups. But maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I just shouldn't. So I'm going to leave that thought there. But yeah, going back to what's happening in the video, because that is what you're watching. I sort of look at the base of this building and think, right, well, obviously it needs to be stood on the ground. I can't just have it floating in typical Minecraft fashion, because there's like no gravity. Which in some ways is good, obviously in terms of like flying around and stuff, but then you could fly around in I don't know. I'm just thinking way too deep. Gosh, this might be my last episode today because it's tiring me out just thinking about all this. And I do need to get planning done. Obviously, this is so much more fun than planning. But I will get it done. I will get it done because I know obviously it's such an important part of my job. I should be taking tips off other teachers, like they get their planning done at work, go home and then just forget about it. I don't think that's ever going to be me because I get to the end of the day and I'm sort of a bit tired out, and it's so rare to find me in a mood where I actually want to plan. And I think for the students as well, like I really want to plan really good lessons, so it's better to do it when I've got energy rather than when I've not got energy. It's probably the same for YouTube videos. Like if I want to make really good YouTube videos, it's better to record them when I've got a bit of energy rather than when I'm feeling really tired. But we'll just have to see how it plays out. I mean, I have done a full week back at work, but only 2 days of it were following my teaching timetable. And even still, like there was a year 10 lesson that got missed because we had extended tutor time. So really I've only had 1 day of following my timetable, which probably was the most intense day in my opinion. I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh yeah, so we just have to see like how this works around my teaching, because what's happened this week is, and again I mentioned in my last video, I had a bit of company throughout the week, so that was also why I didn't get some recording done. But we're just going to have to see like how it pans out, because some days I come home from work and I think, yeah, I could record an episode. Like some days I come back and think, oh my gosh, like I just want a break. So I really don't know how I'm going to play it. Now, obviously this week I recorded like the odd episode at the start of the week when there were training days and it was a bit less intense. But now as I'm getting back into teaching, yeah, if I'm too tired and can't do it in the week, I guess I might have to like bulk upload like I am doing today. And I don't know how you guys would feel about that, so please just let me know. Like I've said again, I'm going to have to see sort of what people prefer in terms of longer videos or shorter videos. Maybe it depends what's in the videos. I really don't know, and it is going to be a bit of a guessing game unless people tell me, which would be ace. Like if you are my friend and you're watching my videos, like please just drop me a message and let me know like what episodes you enjoyed or what you enjoyed about it, because then I can sort of try and factor that into another video. Like I've said, I want to be making videos that people enjoy, obviously, as much as they are sort of for me to look back on, because I can't lie, like even just recording these videos, when I had the problems with the recording, I got to go back and see what my words looked like before, and I thought, oh my gosh, it looks so different, which is something I've never been able to do with my Minecraft world or my Minecraft worlds. You got to see it as it is, and you can sort of remember how it used to be, but you don't get to actually see how it used to be. So this is going to be so interesting to be able to look back and just see how it's changed. Like, so really it is for me as well as other people, but obviously if you're watching it, let me know what you enjoy, let me know what you want to see. Something that keeps coming into my mind was, on this world but in a different location, I did build an absolutely massive football stadium, which I think looks pretty cool, and I'm pretty proud that I made it. There's other things that I'm proud I've made as well. I always used to think that one of my train stations was like, that is, wow, this is beautiful, I'm so proud that I did that. And I'm happy to show off that if people want to see it. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep following along with this series and making new content, I think. Because, yeah, I don't know. I think, this, like I say, this is going to have a bit of a storyline to it. And, yeah, really enjoying having a bit of a series going. It did fall flat a bit for me when I'd sort of done up some of the buildings in Foxby, as we're calling it. And I was like, what do I do next? Like I've said, I know I need a school, I need a village hall. But maybe I'll build them uphill now near the castle, because it seems like the castle, before it was like, oh, you could go up to the castle if you just wanted to wander up to the castle sort of thing. Whereas now I feel like it is actually going to have a bit more purpose, and I'm hoping we can sort of make a bit of a storyline to it. But yeah, we'll just have to see, because again, like, I'm just winging it all. I have no idea how it's going to go. But I am really enjoying making these YouTube videos. I hope other people are too. I mean, I keep advertising them on my Instagram story, and I don't know if that's the best thing. Like I say, I've got quite a fairly sizable reach on Instagram. I've mentioned before, I think just under like 1.7k followers, but as I've mentioned, I think there's a lot of inactive accounts because, like, and obviously it's up to people whether they like posts or not, but I don't really get many likes on my posts. I just get typical average sort of number of likes. And story views as well, that's a bit of a way to gauge it, but again, it's up to people. Firstly, like how many people they follow, because like for me, I follow so many people on there. I follow a lot more than I've got followers. So there's like so many accounts that obviously pop up on stories and stuff, and I only click on the ones I'm interested on. So I don't know if that's the same for other people, or if they just watch all of them, because obviously everyone's different. But I thought I've got a big reach on Instagram, and it's just chill, you know. Like it's you go on Instagram to see people's lives, and this is my life. So is that not the place to do it? I always feel like people on Facebook are a lot more judgy, which is why I never really post on Facebook. But maybe that's just my viewpoint, and maybe I'm completely wrong. I'm guessing this is where I've decided to stop on this episode, because I've just sort of paused. Yeah, it must be. So I remember leaving it running for about another 5 minutes. So as you can see, it's completely unfinished, this project, but I hope it's given you a bit of an insight into what I've decided to do and what I'm going to do next. I think my next episode will be finishing off that structure and trying to make it look more like it's part of the castle. Please let me know if you think it should be part of the castle or whether you should think it should be separate. Otherwise, I'm just going to do what I want to do. It is very close to the castle, as you've seen, so I think it could easily, like, we could just have a little courtyard in the middle. Don't know. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. I do really think I should have some sort of watchtowers over that building, because obviously, like, as I've said, if it's going to be transporting goods and people, then it's this completely controlled, protected community where they decide what comes and what goes. Like, there's going to be some battle over that. So yeah, there needs to be guards watching out and stuff. So I think watchtowers. Sorry, there's a car going past. You need to have some watchtowers to make sure it's secure and stuff. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you're watching, let me know what you think. But other than that, if you don't, let me know what you think. I hope you're enjoying the series. Thank you for watching this far into the video, because I don't know how many people do at all. I have no idea what counts as like a view on YouTube, so I have no idea like what interests people at all. So yeah, it's completely just winging it at the minute. I don't know what I'll start doing now. Let's see how long's left on the recording. 3 minutes. I must just follow. I remember thinking at this point I'd probably finish the video, but I know what I'm like, and this is why I keep leaving time at the end of the video just to do the outro and stuff, because I'm so scarred from that first video I did, and this is the thing, it's a learning process in terms of like revealing my Xbox name. So I'm like, right, I need to always leave a few minutes at the end to do a bit of an outro. Oh, so I'll just go back to that end, because I remember thinking, should I do a similar thing at that end, or do I make it completely different? And again, let me know, do you want a more modern train station at that end, or do I keep it the same? Is it going to be controlled by the other village? Is it going to be controlled by this new village? Things to think about. So anyway, again, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I am going to end this here. So again, yeah, third time, thank you for watching. Broken record over here. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I think my plan for the next episode will be to sort of finish that structure, and maybe I've had some more thoughts about what else I'm going to do. I don't know if I'll finish it today, because I do need to get some planning done. It's coming up to like 3 o'clock for me now, so yeah, we'll see. And we'll see how long this video takes to upload as well, because that's another thing with the really big videos. But yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.